The New England Patriots haven't really been firing on all cylinders to end the regular season, but Bill Belichick might still have some tricks up his sleeve. I'm Sierra Goodwill, here with Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. Guys, we've seen this a lot with the Patriots. They unleash some new tricks come the postseason. They kind of hang on to some things so that teams don't really know what's coming. That should be the case this year again. Evan, what do you think the Patriots are holding on to for the playoffs?
Well, I also want to make the point of saying they didn't lose in Week 17 because they didn't want to show their cards.
Yeah.
All right, that narrative is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to win every single game. They're not holding anything back to avoid that type of situation. But
no, they got beat.
I actually think it's the defensive side of the ball that's holding back right now, if anything. I think offensively, there are some things that we can get to that they can certainly do differently. But defensively, I think that there's another level for this defense schematically. Things with disguises, different types of coverages that they can run, different blitz looks that they can run. Certainly with the zero blitzes, they've kept it to really 2 or 3 different kind of designs. I'm interested to see if Bill Belichick has a third or a fourth kind of design that he hasn't put on tape yet that he can pull out at an opportune time, maybe this Saturday or maybe beyond that. But I think defensively, they've been pretty vanilla the last couple of weeks. Certainly in Week 17, they were more vanilla than they have been in the past. So I think that there's more up Belichick's sleeve in that book of his where there's something that the defense hasn't done yet that they can do that they've been practicing that opponents haven't seen, because some of the tendencies that the Patriots have been throwing out there that are on tape for all year long, the defense is starting to are starting to pick on them a little bit. They're starting to figure out this defense. I wrote about it in my film review that you can check out, where the defense, some of their tendencies are getting exposed now by opposing offenses. I think that the defense has to then adjust back and figure out some other things that they can do.
I think it has to be with N'Keal Harry. I mean, he's had his time to get acclimated with the offense. We've seen the last couple of games how good he can be, especially after the catch. Running the ball, he's like Cordero Patterson, but better, but also a huge red zone target. It's time to get him more than 4 touches a game. Josh McDaniels did touch on that this week. It kind of seemed like he was hinting at they're kind of ready to unleash Harry in the postseason, because when you have this threat who has his size, who has his athleticism, it's time to use him a little bit more. I think N'Keal Harry will explode this postseason.
I think it's time to get back to the basics. Who are the 2 best players on this offense, best offensive weapons, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, etc.? It's Julian Edelman and it's James White. And we've heard all year how James White has had a reduced workload because they were saving him for late in the season. They were saving him for the playoffs. Well, here you go. He had 5 touches against the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. That should be the number almost per drive when they get back out here Saturday night against Tennessee Titans. He needs to be a focal point of the offense. He matches up against the Titans' weakness. He needs to be key. The other one, too, Julian Edelman, I don't want to say that they've necessarily been holding him back, but he's been hurt. Only had a couple of catches against the Dolphins the last month of the season, save, 1 game here and there. He really hasn't exploded the way we know Julian Edelman can explode.
Well, it hurts when you're getting double covered on every single play. It's really kind of hard to explode.
They've been able to, and it's not necessarily you can do it often, but they've been able to scheme him open at times in the past. Now, they had Rob Gronkowski back then. That made it easier. But if there is anything they have, if there are any gadget plays left for Julian Edelman, whether they be screens, end-arounds, whatever, it's time.
Well, the Patriots, Julian Edelman ran 19 routes out of the slot. I charted 17 doubles on those 19 routes out of the slot. Every single time they're putting him inside, they're doubling him out of the game, because it's really easy to double him inside because you have the safety, you have the linebackers right there that can just bracket him in. If you move him out to the boundary, which they did a little bit more in the second half last week, it's much harder to have that double team happen. It also opens up a lot more space in other areas of the field because that double is off to one side instead of in the open middle of the field, or James White or whoever it may be. But right now, Miami kind of put the blueprint out there, same with Houston, same with some of these other teams. If Julian Edelman's lined up in between, inside in the slot, he's getting doubled. That's just the way it's gone.
This Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by betonline.ag. Head to their website, enter promo code CLNS50 to receive your welcome bonus. For all of our Patriots playoff coverage, head to our website at clnsmedia.com.